Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of Wham! The Turtles of Grayskull figure, the Super Shredder by Mattel. Now, I've been liking this line. There's a couple of figures that are a little iffy. There are some figures that are really, really cool. So, the Shredder as a snake, to me, is a really cool concept. So, I'm really excited to see what they do with this figure. So, without any further ado, roll that intro. Here he is in packaging. Now you got your standard Turtles of Grayskull Reptile Wars packaging. So you got the snakes up top with the ooze dripping all over them. Turtles of Grayskull. Super Shredder. Let's move that forward so you can see that a little bit better. Alright. You get this open window where you can see him, his accessories. Got the sewer pipes down the sides. Masters of the Universe. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Mattel. Come around this side. Get this pretty cool picture of him. I do like that. Very cartoon style. Alright, you got Turtles of Grayskull above it. And then you got your art here. Moving back just a hair more. So, the art looks alright. You know, I have definitely seen better art. I mean, it's good for what it is, but compared to what you normally get from Masters of the Universe, it's a little bit on the weak side. Now, if you look in the back here, you do have King Hiss and the foot soldiers behind him. Masters of the Universe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A little bit about him. Some of his play features. And the Reptiles War logo. Come around here. Another more cartoon style art with Turtles of Grayskull. Alright. On top, you got the rest of the exploding rocks. And underneath, you got your legal and skew. So, all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. Alright, so here we got the Super Shredder out of packaging. So the first thing we're going to do is go through his points of articulation. So the head does move. Alright, you do get a shoulder joint with a swivel in there. You get an elbow joint. And you do get a wrist joint. Alright. That arm up. You do have a joint here at the hips. And then you have, I think it's about 4 or 5 joints with the tail. So turn it around here. So you got 1, 2, and there's one right here. I don't want to move very much. And that's it. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. So you basically get 3 joints with the tail. Alright. Now the thing about the tail is you gotta line him up just right, otherwise he will fall over. Alright. So now let's get a good look at some of his finer details. So the head sculpt, I think the head sculpt's okay. I like how they did his helmet. The helmet looks cool. You get this reptile style face with his face mask looking very like, you know, rawr, kind of monster mask looking. Alright. I just feel like it could have been done a little bit better. You know? Or, because he's a deluxe figure, maybe he should have had 2 heads. Like one with a helmet, and then one without the faceplate. Maybe having like a snake tongue coming out or something. That would have been cool, but, I mean, it's okay. So now you work down the body, so you get like the snake armor chest. I kind of like that. And then you got, you know, the snake, the Foot Clan and stuff here. Now, I really like this arm guards. I like that a lot. That looks really cool. It has a nice red eye. Then you have the fangs coming out over the hands that look really neat. So I do like that effect. All right, you come around here. You got under the arm and everything. All right. Come around to the back here. You got his cape. Cape is a plastic. I guess it kind of works for this particular figure just because of the nature, and I guess they're trying to keep that flared out look. You know me, I usually prefer cloth, but it kind of works. Let's lift this up. So now you can see the back armor, you can see the darker side of his body and all this. So I like that. That's a pretty nice effect. So if you ever want to take the cape off, you just want him without it, he would still look pretty cool, honestly. All right. Ah, damn shredder. So as you can see, if you don't have him standing on there right, he will be off balance. All right, then you get this arm. Let's move this cape out of the way. Get a look at the arm being down. All right, and then back around. Now it's harder to see it with this hand, but when you look at this hand, you can see like he has like these claws and everything. Come on, dude, just stand. So he has like these clawed hands that have like bone junctures in them. You know, suggesting that he has an exoskeleton instead of an endoskeleton, which is pretty cool. So overall, he isn't that bad looking. So now let's start looking at his accessories. Man, actually, that's kind of a pretty cool looking pose. Hate to move him from that, but oh well. So first you have the spear. Now at first I thought this was a scarab, but it isn't. You look it up closely, it's actually a snake head. Just with two very long, fangs coming out of it. All right. Next off, he has a sort of small sword with rigid edges. And then last but not least, he has his tail blade. Now, this tail blade, if I'm looking at this right, almost represents the Raphael large sai. So Raphael had a sai that was really big that kind of looks like this. So it looks like it's a similar design. All right. So now let's see how well all this works with him. So first, let's start with the tail piece. All right. So that works on there like that. Probably succeeds in knocking off the balance. So that's actually cool. I do like that tail piece. All right. So you can hold this in here. The fingers do move a little bit. So, okay. So, come on, dude, just stay. All right, so if you want him to hold that dagger, he can, or short sword. I don't know if you could really get anything in its other hand just because of the way how it is. You may be able to get him to fall over because apparently he likes doing that. Yeah, he likes doing that a lot, apparently. All right. All right, let's get him to stay. So I think the knife, the blade on his tail sort of off balances him. But if you kind of want him to hold that scepter in that other hand, you can. Now they do have the play effect to where this thing doesn't want to come out of his hands. All right, there you go. So you could actually take these two, put them together. So now you have one spear. So you can have it put into this hand here. And then I guess if you want, spin shit around. Bring this down just a hair more. There we go. So now you can have him actually hold that with two hands. And so far, so everything seems to work pretty well with him. All right, so let's get into my final thoughts with him. So first off, all his joints work very well. No issues with that. I don't have any issues getting his weapons or his tail on. All that seemed to swap out pretty good, so I don't have any issues with his weapons. And I do like the overall look to him. So would I recommend this figure? Yes, I would. I think he is pretty cool looking. I'm not a big fan of the actual face sculpt, but it works. And that's a more of a personal thing. You know, I think it still would have been cool if he would have came with two heads. So you have one with the mask, one without. I think that's pretty neat. Now the big flaw to this figure, to me personally, is it's hard to find his balance point. Like I don't know if you notice, maybe if I spin him around, you can see how I have him really tilted back because he wants to be very front heavy. But once you find the balance point, you know, he stands pretty good. But that would probably be my only real major issue with him, is that finding his balance point is a little bit hard on him. So, with that being said, the first thing I want to mention is my shout outs. So, the first person I want to give a shout out to is Byron Bassett and his alter ego, Humongous. He does a lot of stuff to help with the channel, and he's a big supporter of the channel. Plus, check out his YouTube channel and his Sunday show. Okay. Next shout out is to Action Figure Geeks. They're a Reddit channel that I'm part of. They also support the channel, and all their information is in the description. So if you want to find out more about either one, you can do that way. And I want to give a shout out to everybody who has watched the video all the way through. I really do appreciate you. The same with everybody who subscribes. You all appreciate it, and I say thank you very much. Plus, check out my Masters of the Universe playlist, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle playlist, and check out my membership program. Plus, hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So, until the next one, late.